Okay, today I'm going to go through a common question I get is what kind of contract should I use for signing with a employee? I think we're going to say more specifically a remote employee or an online employee here regarding work. We really enjoy working with online teams, and we see the growing trend of people also agreeing that that's a great way to work. So we have this blog post you can check out. If you're watching the video, head on over to the URL you see there, and we'll also link it into the video notes. But today I'm going to kind of go through that while also showing the contract and also some of the systems that you could use. So, first of all, disclaimer. This is technically contractors, not employees, although we also, even in our company, we call people employees, but technically or legally, it's contractors and or even freelancers. And of course, I'm not a lawyer. We're not a law firm. Please consult with a law firm for your own specific cases. These are examples and templates for you to get a little bit of jump start and to understand what's required and what you need to do. So you can read that in full in the blog post, but just let's go forward. Also, we're calling this an MOU. I'll be going through the contract here, which you can download for free in various different formats I'll talk about at the end. So I call it a memorandum of understanding. This is a contract name. What we use that for is for basically an agreement between two parties or two people or two companies where they both are working towards having an agreement. So it's really also about trust. You can have these contracts, especially with international business and people in all around the world. You could take people to court over contracts, but I really try to stress when I sign a contract with somebody that I'm signing it just to make sure that people both understand the kind of rules of engagement, the game of life, the game of business. So, I really try to make sure people understand that they need to trust each other, and this is just so we understand it. The major terms. So I'm going to go through the. I'm going to go through. This is brand new. I got to update this, but I am going to go through the contract now. But these are the different terms. So let's go into the contract. We'll come back to the post. So again, I said memorandum of understanding between the person, which is me, and Shadowstone is my company, and our address, maybe the project too. If you want to add this could be removed. And then the person, I call it member. So this would be their name. This would be their location, address, full as much detail as possible. Passport number. Some people don't have a passport. I understand. It could be an I. Maybe you could also add ID number in the country of X, and then attachment A, which you'll see here is at the bottom. They can attach it or send it to you separately as a scanned image. It's very important. We talk about that in other posts about having a good database of all your team members so you know who you're working with. So that's kind of the first part, which is these parties, who is who. And then, this is the standard text, what we're trying to do here. I don't think you need to ever change that. The basically as what they're working for, this is job title. And you should change that. For the company starting from, and then the start date's most important. I usually say TBD unless you know when it will end, if it's like a very clear contract when it starts and when it ends. And then all the different responsibilities, it could be replying to customer emails. We'll have templates for different jobs as well, so you can use those in your work and your company. But you'll list out all the different responsibilities. And then the IP, which is very important. We talk about that here. You're paying this contractor, employee, staff, whatever, freelancer. You want to make sure that you own what they're doing, whether it's graphics, text, even customer services, of course, email databases, customer databases. This is your property as a business. You're taking the risk. You're paying them for their time. They should be happy and appreciative of that income. So you would list out maybe anything that they might be creating or dealing with or working with, and then also make it again clear that this is owned by the company. The next is a non-disclosure. Like I say in the blog post, this could be a contract by itself. I have done that with startups, tech startups, and other projects. But here, it's all about what people agree. But I put 2 years, 24 months after leaving the company, meaning if they deal with some kind of sensitive information that's proprietary and secret for your startup, your tech company, your business, your established multinational, whichever kind of company you work for, you want that. And then there might be legal action, of course. You've seen it in the news and finance news, about a company employee that leaves and then goes to a competitor and, competes with them and gives them all that information. So, that's what you're trying to prevent here as much as possible and making this as clear as possible and signed by both parties. The next would be the compensation, of course, especially the employee wants to know how much they're getting paid. I have a kind of template here, paid. Maybe it could be approved first, or you could say X amount of hours per week, per day, what time they're expected to work from. You could also say full-time, part-time, project-based, etc. And then going down here, I also add this clause of being an official employee. Like I say in the blog post, and a disclaimer here is this is not an employee contract technically. This is for somebody maybe as a contractor. If for it to be a full employee, you would need to have a company in that country to legally, at least in the year 2019 where I record this, I believe, you need to have a company there. You're going to have to pay taxes in that country. You're going to have maybe even an office, address, bank account, and then you pay from that country's bank account to their personal bank account, and then they would get also employee benefits such as health care, maybe some kind of social security or some kind of retirement savings or pensions, other things depending on the country. That won't be happening in this contract. So you just want to make it, also helps make it clear that they're not an official employee from this contract. And then the most important part I say in the blog post, and I'll be adding to this, is the termination policy. Sadly, I think the most important part of any contract is what happens if it doesn't work, which, in life and business, you're taking a risk. You hope you pick the right person. They hope they pick the right company. Here, you need to basically make some kind of terms for the leaving, parting of ways in a friendly way. You want to have good relations even if they leave. You don't want to have any, they deal with your customers, they deal with your technology. You don't want to have disputes. You want to make sure that you're fair and that they know what's going to happen if they quit or you let them go. So I guess this is, maybe we'll actually have people giving us feedback in this comments, but I do a 2-week notice or a 14 days. And if I have to lay them off, maybe I'm cutting back, or the department or the project or that company's closing. I've done this many times, is I pay them and they don't have to work. That gives them some time to find a new job. Maybe I didn't work out. Even if I've let them go, maybe for doing a bad thing in a company, some of my own staff say you shouldn't do that. But I just feel give them a couple weeks notice. This is where I think it's kind of like employee standard here. A lot of people say you don't need to do this if they're a contractor. I want them to feel safe and comfortable and as if they are an employee of my company. So I suggest you give them a couple weeks notice. That makes them feel more trustworthy to you, dedicated to you, not looking for other jobs, other income, because this might be their own income and they might need this for their own rent and their family, their children. I'm a parent now, so I understand that. So you want to give them time. But also, they can't disappear. If they disappear, I know a lot of times people have bad experiences where they work with online teams and their staff will disappear. If they disappear, then you're not going to pay them this because they disappeared. Maybe they have a problem in their life. They should communicate to you. But I always say the most important part is communication. So if not communicating to you, you don't have to. I just basically say terminate this contract, and they won't get paid any outstanding payments, even if they were working maybe for a week and then they disappeared. That really damages the company, and that's the most important part. I always put in my policies and in my agreements is that. So, you can tweak this. Also, if they put any risk to the company, you can say if they damage something, or it's going to be hard to get money out of an employee or a staff or a freelancer, but maybe you could also try that. This is probably the most important one you should read. The next one here, let's jump over here, is the payments. If they're dealing with customers, where are they supposed to be paying? Just so it's totally clear that they're not getting the money into their bank accounts. They're not, this is where the money has to go. And then the last part I put in these is the jurisdiction. I'm a Hong Kong company, so I like to use Hong Kong companies and the UK law is based on the UK law. So I just say that here. And then, of course, the signature, your company name. Of course, they don't probably have a company unless they maybe set up with their own freelance business. Name, signature, date, and then the attachment would be attached. So I hope this is helpful. Also, we are regarding work, and what you can do here is you can store all these documents so that this employee can then see on there. This is the admin dashboard for a company. So you can go into each employee and you can have all this information about them. And probably one of the most important documents is the agreement, so that both parties can always access it. Because I know a lot of times my staff in the past, before we had this system, couldn't find it. They signed it, maybe it's lost in their email or something. Or I know there's e-signatures. I use these e-signatures, but this just keeps it all in the HR portal. So definitely support regarding work if this has helped you at all. It's a free sign up trial for now as I record this, and we would love to get your feedback and your ideas of what you think of this system. We're trying our best to make HR working with online teams as easy and smooth and safe as possible. So storing your contracts with your employees in here will be a great way so that you can go back and refer to those contracts, not just for you. A lot of times my other managers, my business partners, they say, what's signed with this person? What's the rate? What happens this? It's not just for you and that employee. It's the whole HR department, the management department, maybe investors can also get an access to this. They can see your agreements. You have to have good agreements. So at the biggest takeaway I hope you get from this is making things clear. You might not be able to sue somebody, and I hope you never have to. The most important is having clear agreement before they start working, knowing what's going to happen, what their job requirements are, what they need to do, what's important, and what, of course, happens if they either don't do their work or you don't want to work with them anymore. And then I hope we have these free templates you can download here. I have 3 different versions. PDF version you can download. No email opt-ins as of recording this. Microsoft Word or Google Docs. So you can just click onto this and go right into the same template that I'm using in this video. I really hope you enjoy. Maybe also give us a comment on the video section. This will also be linked on the video where we're posting this in different countries, and it will also be a blog on regardingwork.com. I'm Mike Michelini, one of the founders, and I really hope this can help you work better with your online teams. Good luck, and I wish you the best. And definitely take us up on these free templates, and also please at least consider signing up for free to our Regarding Work HR management system. It's no credit card required, and you could get going today and start having clear agreements and clear ways of working. It's not just for the contracts, it's also for pay slips and others. You can check our other videos, our blogs, our features, but it's managing attendance, awards, expenses, holidays, payroll, even having your staff reintroduce others. So I am slammed. I got to work with some more HR things. So thank you so much, and I wish you the best in your business.